Continuing our series of building JavaScript method from scratch for beginners, in this video we will be making these two methods. And to make these methods we are allowed to use method that we have already built, so let's start. Same as previous video. First I will be introducing the array method with their example input and output, then we will examine those methods, identifying which programming tools and tricks to use and in which order to arrange them. Along that process we will build pseudocode algorithm for required function, and later on, I will show you flowchart version of that algorithm. The important tip that I can give to you all, to get most out of this video, is to first try to build it by yourself, then come to this video. First is array.push method. The push method of array instances adds the specified elements to the end of an array, and returns the new length of the array. So, from looking at example input and output and definition of the method, we have to somehow calculate length of array and then return it. Well, remember we could use methods that we have already built, so we could use length method, actually property, to find length of array. Next, we have to add given element to the end of an array, but we can't use push method, so how? Well, let's go to basics. Remember JavaScript programming language supports dynamic arrays, which means that the array data structure can automatically adjust its size to accommodate new elements as they are added. This capability allows for flexible and efficient management of collections of data without needing to manually allocate and manage memory or resize the array. JavaScript arrays are inherently dynamic. Python lists are also same. But in other language like in Java, you don't manually add elements to an array since arrays have a fixed size. But if you're using an array list, it would work similarly. Another thing to note is, arrays are zero-indexed, which means the first element is at index 0, the second element is at index 1, and so on. The length property, or equivalent, of an array provides the total number of elements in the array. When you add an element to the end of an array, you place it at the index equal to the current length of the array because the indices of the existing elements range from 0 to length 1. The next available position is at the index length. So, we just have to directly add or assign the element at the length index / next available index. Now, it's time to make rough draft of our algorithm. First initialize function cause we are making a function. Let's name it push, taking two parameters array and element to add. Then assign element to array at next available index, that would be length of an array. Finally, return array's length. Here a flowchart representation of our algorithm, nothing special here. Now let's code it up with JavaScript. Initialize function name push. Assign element to array at next available index. Return array's length. Next is arrays concat method. The concat method of array instances is used to merge two or more arrays. This method does not change the existing arrays, but instead returns a new array. Now pause the video and think how it can be made, or at least give it a try. So, from looking at example input and output and definition of the method, how can we merge two arrays? If you think about it, merging in arrays is same as taking individual elements and placing it in correct order into bigger array. So, next logical step would be, if somehow expands the arrays into individual elements and place them into larger array, then return that. That could work. Now, the question is how to expand the arrays into individual elements? Well, let's go home again, I mean the basics. In array, we have studied about spread operator, which does exactly what we need, which is to expand the array into individual elements. And to concatenate, place the spread arrays inside square brackets, we create a new array that includes all elements from both arrays. Okay, almost there. Now time to write pseudocode, which is very simple. Initialize a function, let's name it concat. Return an array inside which two spread arrays are placed. Now, time for annoying part, or for some or most, the fun part, edge case. What if passed down arguments aren't of type array? For that, just throw an error. So, updating our algorithm, check if both arrays are of type array. If not, then throw an appropriate error like both arguments should be arrays. Here a flowchart representation of our algorithm. Now let's code it up with JavaScript. Initialize function named concat. Check if both arrays are of type array. If not, then throw an appropriate error. Return an array inside which 2 spread arrays are placed. And this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching.